Good evening, everybody. I've been hearing an awful lot about Monkey Shoulder blended malt Scotch whiskey. A long time ago, I never bought it. This was a gift I got. A long time ago, I remember this was at Trader Joe's for 35 bucks. And now, I think it's the cheapest you can get it is like 60. In some places, even are as much as 80, like if you go to just a general grocery store. But I think Total Wine, I think this is on sale for 60 or 65 or something. But this was a gift. This one's batch 27. I don't think there's a lot of different monkey shoulders. I looked it up. I think there's only like maybe two. But it's supposed to be really good, especially for the price. I've had the pleasure of having scotches that are two, three, and even one time I had one that was $400 for a bottle. And it was good, but I don't think that it was as good as the one that was $200 a bottle. I mean, I think you get to a certain price point, or you get through a price ceiling, and after that, they're kind of all the same. I mean, not the same, like they don't taste the same, but I can't imagine drinking a $700 bottle of scotch and going, oh my God, I've never tasted anything like this before. I think a lot of that's bullshit, to be honest with you. But I can't, I mean, I'm no aficionado myself or connoisseur by any means, but I drink enough scotch and have drinking enough scotches to know what I like and what I don't like. And I've had $30 bottles and I haven't liked them because they weren't very good. I've had $50 and $60 bottles and I haven't liked them because they weren't very good. But on the same note, one of my favorites is Dalwhinnie 12 year. I think that's about 50 or 60 bucks. It's not super expensive and it's really, really good. So you really just got to find what you like. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's going to be bad. But there's more cheap whiskeys that are bad than expensive whiskeys that are good. So you just got to try different stuff and see what you like. Okay. Let's try this monkey shoulder and see how it is. I'm not going to shoot it. I'm going to sip it first. I might shoot it a little bit. This is my Kansas City, Missouri glass. Big surprise. I got it in Kansas City, Missouri. My wife's a flight attendant and she took me there. She had a layover. It was a long layover. I think it was like a 42-hour layover or something like that. But they got great museums there. They got the World War I Memorial Museum, and it was fantastic. It was one of the best museums I think I've ever been to, other than maybe the World War II Museum, which is in Nolens, Louisiana. That was great too. But the World War I Museum, I think, was bigger. But the World War II Museum in New Orleans, they do have planes in a hangar hanging from the ceiling, which is really cool, amongst a lot of other cool exhibits as well. But okay, let's do first impressions off of smell notes. I get caramel. I don't, a lot of people, they'll be like caramel, toffee, green apple, all this other stuff. I don't usually get that. Maybe my sense of smell isn't good enough. But the most I'll get is like fruity notes or caramel notes. I don't really get detailed things too much like some people do. But just the first thing that popped into my mind from smelling this is it is caramel. It smells good. Some cheaper whiskeys will have a very rubbing alcohol smell to them if they're cheaper. Well, they're cheaper. You get what you pay for. This doesn't at all, which it shouldn't. I mean, I know it was 35 bucks when it first came out, but the reason it got popular obviously is because it's good. So let's take a little sip. Okay. That's really good. That's actually really good. It's got a bite like you would expect from an overproof whiskey. It's not much overproof. It's 43%. So I don't even really know if you'd call that overproof. But it's smooth. It's surprisingly smooth. A little bit of peat. So if you take a scotch like Laphroaig or Lagavulin, I'd call that anywhere from 80 to 100% peat. Those are really peaty. I mean, Lagavulin, it's like a campfire in a bottle, and Laphroaig is like a black Sharpie marker. This seems to be like a perfect amount of peat. I love unpeated scotches because I'm not a huge fan of peat, but I do like scotches with a little peat in it. And this scotch has a little peat in it. It's enough to give you that smoky, peaty flavor, but it's not overbearing. It's not like peat. It's more like peat, which is cool. I can dig it. But for 43%, you know, like I said, that's not very high. I mean, most are 80, 43. I see, sometimes I don't like the ones that are too high, you know, like 90, 100, 110, whatnot. It's just too much. I mean, I know you're supposed to put just a little tiny bit of water in it to dilute it, but it's like, what's the point? I don't know. I'm probably overthinking that, but yeah, this is great. It's smooth. It's got the perfect amount of peat. I wouldn't say any more, and I wouldn't even say any less. I like scotches that are unpeated, but if you're going to drink a scotch that has peat, that seems to be the perfect amount of peat right there. The notes on the flavor, I would say, are consistent with the smell. It's got a subtle sweetness to it, you know, a sugary, caramely sweetness, but not the kind of sweetness that's probably going to give you a headache the next day. It's not that sweet. It's just like kind of subtle. Like you just want, after you swallow it, you can kind of, there's a presence of sweetness, which, like the peat in this, is perfect. That's what I like. I don't like it to be too sweet, too peaty, too much alcohol. I guess what I'm saying is Monkey Shoulder is very well balanced. So for around $60, that's a good bet. It's also blended too. You know, single malts are nice for obvious reasons. They're nice because they're more exclusive. You know, the one single whiskey they could control more. Obviously, when you blend it up, you know, it's different. But, I mean, think about cooking. Rarely do people eat single ingredient dishes. Most dishes have multiple ingredients, which makes a dish good. So, I think a blend is great. I kind of, you know, I mean, Dalwhinnie 15 or 12 year, which I love, that's a single. Macallan 12, that's a single. Those are both great. Oban 14, that's a fantastic single malt. And there's blends that are good too. I have a bottle of a Dewar's 18 year blend. That is a good blended scotch. I would say it's just as good as this one. And I guarantee you that's not anywhere near 18 years old, but it might as well be for how close it was to that Dewar's 18 I have. God, you know, that really reminds me of Glenfiddich. Not Glenlivet. That reminds me of Glenfiddich a lot. It drinks like a single malt, but it is a blend. So I think Monkey Shoulder, they nailed it, dude. They really did nail it. This is a fantastic bottle, and I you know, like I said, this was a gift, but I'll probably buy one just for shits and giggles. I'll read this to you guys. It says, rooted in malt whiskey history, inspired by the malt men who still turn the malting barley by hand. Monkey Shoulder is blended in small batches of 3 fine Speyside single malts, then married to achieve a smooth, richer taste. Well, I guess there you go. It is a smooth and rich taste. I think it's just, yeah, it says the same thing on the back. Also, don't be a drunken monkey. Drink responsibly. Don't tell me what to do. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. I hope you liked the video. I've been posting more videos more often. You know, for some of you that I know some people subscribe to this channel. I do a lot of plumbing videos and a lot of like construction-based stuff. I haven't done much lately, but I'll start doing more and more. It seems like the plumbing stuff hits pretty good, which is cool because it's one of the only things that I'm good at. Anyways, guys, Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.